What's going on, people? Team sheet is very straightforward. Tomiyasu is being replaced by Rob Holding, so it looks like Arsenal are going to a back three. There's a lot of problems on the bench. Again, 5 academy players on there, a lot of them with no Premier League experience. So if anything, that's where the problem is, but I don't think it will add anything to today's result. I think the starting 11 should be able to go out there and do a job. There shouldn't be any issues. Burnley has been really struggling. As I said, they only had 10 players fit for the Watford game, which had to be cancelled. And today they come in with 4 changes. There's changes all over the place for them. So with Arsenal, I think it's a fairly straightforward game for them to come in and get the job done. I mean, I trust in Rob Holding. You need somebody like him. I know a lot of people, they always talk about players like Rob Holding, Nketiah, El Nene. Maybe you could add Bernd Leno to that mix, Callum Chambers. And these players are important because when things like this happen, and that includes Tavares, by the way, when things like this happen, then what are you going to do when you're short? You need a squad to get through the season. And it's times like this is where they need to step up. Holding and Chambers both came on last week and did really well in the 0-0 draw against Liverpool. So you'd expect for them to come in and do a job here against a Burnley team that's really hurting and reeling from a disastrous season. As I said, 1 win in their 18 and just crippled. And they really, without Chris Woods now, they're just fodder for relegation. So I'm looking forward to a 2-0 win here today. I'm really happy that Tomiyasu is not even on the bench and they're resting him because it just seemed like that issue played its part in the performance against Liverpool. And maybe they shouldn't even have started in that game. And that's what I'm saying. What frustrated me was the fact that this guy was in training for 3 or 4 days and you saw what was going on in training and you didn't relate that to what was going on in the game. You didn't relate that and said, no, maybe he's not going to be good enough for me to play against Liverpool, and then you still played him. So that's the only thing that I would sort of really get confused about. But guys, listen, I'll catch up with you at half time and then we'll talk about it and see where we are. But I'm looking for a comfortable victory today. And yeah, that's me, guys, and I'll speak to you at half time. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Arsenal 0, Burnley 0, half time. Not a very good start from Arsenal at all. It's taken them about 20 minutes to get into the game. The crowd as well has sort of tried to help them along with trying to inspire some energy into the players. It was a strong finish to the second half, but I've got to say, very, very poor performance. Transitional play has been slow, getting the ball upfield. There's no urgency in our play. The options up front have been very, very dire as well. Martinelli has struggled to get into the game, but looked useful every time he's had the ball. Tierney's not really supported him very well. Tierney's been very poor. He's had 3 crosses that have come into the box and done nothing. Saka, most of the players come down Saka's side. He's had 40% of possession down that side, so that's really where Arsenal are finding their luck. But just lacking a little bit of that quality on the final ball. Odegaard has been magic in the middle of the midfield. I think he's only given the ball away once, but he really has been the master conductor, stringing everything in the Arsenal midfield. And overall, guys, this is going to be a difficult game to really adhere to, because Burnley are very tight, very compact at the back, and that's making it difficult for Arsenal to find any holes in. And because the movement and the urgency has been poor, that's the type of game that we have right now. Burnley are well bedded in at the back, not a lot of space. They've had 6 block shots on Arsenal's shots and attempts. Martin Odegaard came close where the goalkeeper made a great save, and then there was a block straight afterwards. You think really that's where Arsenal should have scored. You're not going to get a lot of chances in this game. It's been 3 games since Arsenal haven't hit the back of the net, and you can see this game's got 0-0 written all over it. We're really waiting for a little bit of magic to sort of step up. Again, Smith Rowe's been very, very poor. He's completely out of the game, not involved in anything really. When we get the ball sometimes in the midfield, it seems to be going backwards rather than forwards, and that really epitomizes what's going on in today's game. Just no energy, no enthusiasm to get forward with haste or any urgency at all. And we're paying for that, because it's making it easy for Burnley to defend. They're not really having to do much apart from keeping tight at the back, but we just have to be a lot more quicker in transition. We've got to move the ball quickly, we've got to improve our movement going forward, and we've got to be a bit more clinical. A couple of times, Lacazette's had a couple of shots and have been off target. When you're a team like Arsenal that's struggling to make things happen at the moment, those are the things that are not going to help. Slow build-up play, not hitting the target when you get the chance to, those are the things that really shows why Arsenal need a striker. And I'm afraid it's going to be like this for the majority of the second half until someone really steps up to the plate. But as it is at the moment, it doesn't really look like Burnley can hurt you without Chris Wood. They don't really look like a threat going forward. And that could play to Arsenal's advantage. If you move a man forward for a little bit more penetration and help, then you might be able to actually do something. But it wasn't until the last 15 minutes of the half that Arsenal started playing the ball in Burnley's half. Many times in the game, Arsenal found it difficult to even come out of their own half. So that for me is a problem. That slow build-up play has to be looked at by Arteta at half-time. So we'll speak to you guys at the end of the game. Talk to you guys later. Yeah, what's up guys? Game finishes, Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. And I think that was so frustrating. It was about 10 minutes where Arsenal looked like it was going to get something from the game. Smith Rowe went close, Martinelli as well. It just started looking like it was just ravaging Arsenal, just pushing forward for a goal. But then towards the last 15 minutes, everything just seemed to dissipate. Burnley had taken the sting out of us, and we didn't even look like we were 100%. I mean, you could see on the final whistle, there was like 3 or 4 Arsenal players just flat out with their backs on the pitch, like they've just given everything. And what we sort of kind of got from the game was that they didn't give enough. And it was really just the ineptness of moving the ball forward at pace. Too many players just sitting on the ball, not moving it forward. I mean, Kieran Tierney, if you look at what he was doing in possession, just not urgent enough, just playing the ball safe, just choosing the safe option time and time again. Players, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Lacazette, all making runs into the final third and just not getting the ball. That's all it came down to. I mean, sure, sometimes you're afraid of giving possession away, but sometimes you've got to take a chance, especially if you can see that something's on. If you can see a player has made an effort to run into a space, then you play the ball and give it to him. Time and time again, Arsenal took the safe option, and because of that, I'm sorry, you've got the safe goal, you've got the safe score. It's 0-0 because you tried to play it safe, because you wasn't assertive enough. Your urgency levels wasn't where it needed to be, and because of that, you've come out with this game with 1 point. And I have to say this, guys, I have to say this now. That's your top 4 gone. because these are the games that you have to start to pick points up. When Arsenal was in fourth place, they were winning, they were sort of letting the other guys chase them, and now we're chasing the pack. You cannot afford to have games like this where you're dropping points against a team that's at the bottom of the league. And West Ham and Man United have already started to pick up points. So those two are now in the game. So we've now got Spurs, Man United, West Ham that are battling for that fourth place. So when you have games like this and you put a result in like this, it's not going to help the team. So look, there's 4 games now without a goal. That's in January, 3 red cards, no goals in the last 4 games. And that's where we are, guys. But I'll see you guys when I get back to the studio.